Okay.
Okay.
That's why I wrote this article, The Happy Lockdown Birthday. It was mine 4 weeks ago. So I just thought, just gives you
Yeah.
a nudge, doesn't it? That lots and everybody will by now have had a lockdown birthday pretty well, I'm sure.
Hang on for a sec. Oh, good evening. How are you? How's everybody? I tell you what, yesterday, no, the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we had a charity event and we had around about 10 Elvis acts and other people doing charity. And it was really, really good. Thank you very much for everybody who joined in and who took part. And we raised a bit of money. Also, it was my birthday yesterday and my wedding anniversary on the same day. So thank you for thank you for the cards and thank you for everything. And I'm very grateful. Also, the topic tonight is um, birthdays through lockdown. I took it off Susan's page, naughty boy Stephen, but it's there to read, isn't it, Susan?
Absolutely, yeah, because it sometimes you hear the interview, you get a few ideas. Steve, as you know, and I tend to go a little bit off topic sometimes. That's okay. But the reference point are there on the site, and there's loads of articles available for you to look at if you want to, completely free.
We always do go off track, don't we?
We tend to. It's amazing, really, how that happens, isn't it?
Yes, it's always goes off track. Anyway, for me, it's like I'm lucky because yesterday, or am I still in lockdown? Ooh, am I still in lockdown? No. For me, I think being in lockdown.
You'll probably be in a tier. I think you'll be in a tier now.
Yeah, yeah,
Rather
yeah,
than,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, oh yeah, tier two. Sorry, I've just been told. So, I just, when I was in lockdown down where I live, I was finding it very difficult because you can't do nothing. You're just stuck in all the time, and everything. And for some people, it was their birthdays,
I think
and
by
so
now, I think by now, most people will have had some sort of birthday or celebration or special decade birthday or particular anniversary or christening or something, some sort of celebratory thing that they couldn't go to. For a lot of people, it will have just been a regular or ordinary in between birthday, but there will be people who had, really important celebrations that they've lost out on. But anyway, I mean, today we're really talking about just the people with the regular
yeah,
birthdays,
yeah,
what it's like
yeah.
being stuck at home and maybe on your own and in lockdown or a tier or so. You certainly can't go to places like we normally would have done.
Oh no, I would have gone out for a meal or gone out somewhere. You know what I mean? But I just stayed in, and yes, I'm not going to say no more of what happened there. But I quite enjoyed my birthday. I certainly went bed early. Because Stephen here had a few drinks, but I really enjoyed my birthday. I think it was okay for some people because they're on their own. Susan,
Yeah,
they
like me,
can't.
it was on my
Yeah.
own a month ago. It was my birthday, and I just got a takeaway. And it's the first time I've ever had a takeaway. I know that sounds weird, but I actually went and got myself a takeaway and came home, and that was what I did, and watched the telly on a Saturday evening, which is completely. I mean, I'm normally out for social stuff 2 3 maybe more than that every week, and my social circle's pretty good, and we tend to go out and double up. We'll go and have a chat and a catch up over a meal or a few drinks or something. So it is, and then there's other people who have got family that they want to catch up
Mm,
with. It's sad, or even
mm,
folks, parents and people.
yeah. So what do we say about people who are on their own and they're celebrating their birthday? How can they kind of like cope with that then?
Well, I think the first thing is starting with winding it back in and saying, and this also applies a little bit to Christmas as well on your own, though I'm sure we'll cover it nearer the time. But I think if there's something special that you would normally like to have celebrated or got together over, I think that, and you can't do it, if you're hitting an immovable object, you can keep on bashing into it and crying and screaming and looking at the bruises and feeling sorry for yourself. And, that might be part of the process for a while, but ultimately we're grown up now. We've got big girl pants or big boy pants, so we can actually stand up and say, come on, it is what it is. I can't do anything about this is where I'm at. So what do I have? And I think starting with gratitude is a biggie, where we say, okay, there's a lot of people don't even have a roof over their head. There's a lot of people don't have food in the fridge, or perhaps a garden or a balcony or whatever it might be, or a phone or internet access that they can talk to people and connect with. So, stop it and just start with gratitude and start thinking of what you do have in your life and what you can be thankful for. And the fact that I could go and get a takeaway and
Mm,
stand there and think, what do I want? And I had that luxury. I can afford to do it. I can make those decisions. I can then drive myself home. How fortunate is that? There's a lot of people would give their eye teeth to be as unfortunate as me. So
mm,
it is about sort of reeling it in and starting with gratitude. And maybe if you have a religion, connecting with that and giving thanks. But the whole thing, going for a walk. I mean, I think the second thing is being imaginative and planning treats and things for yourself. So if you're on your own, and this again applies at Christmas, if you're on your own for whatever reason, you can't see people, you can't touch base with them, you can't hug them. It's sad, it's sorry, but be imaginative. What can I do?
mm,
What can I do that makes my day feel a little bit special? Let me do a bit of a marker. I know on Christmas Day, my mum and I, if we can, I'm in tier 3. Mum and I will probably go for lunch if the place is open, and then I'll come back in the evening, and it's nice to get some of the bits in that you like, or however it is you like to eat. Getting little bit tapasy things or whatever it might be, in thing treats that you like to eat. Maybe getting your bath salts going, or lining up your TV or your Netflix or
mm,
whatever it is you have. Maybe getting yourself a small bottle of booze, champagne even, or something where you feel
mm,
it's a bit it's special, it's a bit of a treat. Organizing with your friends so that you phone them, telling them. And I think one thing that we people who have internet access, it is about flagging up and letting people know that it is your birthday.
mm,
I got 200 or 300 messages on my birthday on in November, and it was lovely. And I know a lot of those are from people who don't know me and I've never met, and I don't fool myself into thinking, they're absolute friends. But it's nonetheless, it's lovely to go, 280 messages or whatever it is, and people saying that and putting all these little emojis and things on there, and it's really lovely. So tell
mm.
people, let people in, and let people wish you a happy birthday. So there's lots of little things that we can do, and that's just a starting point, really, about
Yeah,
thinking about
yeah,
things for yourself.
yeah. It's really tough. I we were going. My wife bought me for my birthday an Echo Dot. Now I'm not good at kind of like with anything with electronics. I can't even work the laptop properly. But anyway, she bought me that, and it was, and I was there kind of like trying to sort it all out and saying, Alexa, I love you on it, and it came back, and it was like funny remarks, and we were laughing, and between me and us, it was a bit of communication. We were enjoying it, we were having time, bit of fun and everything. On my birthday, then I had a couple of drinks and everything, and I went over the top, and I had to go bed early. But it was, yeah, yeah.
You get a pass on your birthday, I think, Steve.
Oh yeah, but put this way, I never drink. Only time I drink is on my birthday and at Christmas, and that's it.
Well,
After
that's
that, I don't
possibly
drink.
why it affects you so much. You see, if you got a higher tolerance, not that you want a higher tolerance, but it
No,
would be
no, no,
you'd
I'm
be
not.
used to it. Yeah.
No, not you said. But it's like anything. Anything to celebrate. I think you should celebrate your birthday. Yes, you're right. You should tell people about your birthday. But people kind of like, I was surprised because when I was doing this charity event, all right, okay, I was disappointed that we didn't, get much money for it. But I said to somebody, it's not about the money at the end of the day. It's about coming together.
Mm.
The closeness and coming together. See,
And I think that's where things like, for birthday, Christmases, or even just over the past few months anyway, about keeping in touch. This is why a lot of people have been imaginative, and they've organized, on Zoom, on these connection things that we can do like this. They've organized competitions, baking competitions, or they've organized quiz nights and
mm,
disco evenings and all sorts of different things where people can get in touch, even if it's just chatting one to one. I've done loads of networking online, and actually, one of the advantages of that is that I can attend networking events that I wouldn't normally go to at half
mm,
7 in the morning. That I wouldn't normally necessarily be thinking about driving 20, 30 miles to go to a networking and get there for 7ish, 7:30 in the morning. So it's opened different types of doors. It's not the same as in person, but it's different, and there's advantages to doing it that way. So I think similarly on a birthday or a special event, getting together with quizzes and, as I say, competitions of different
mm,
kinds and all sorts of games, and being imaginative about what you can actually play, dressing
mm,
up dinner parties where you're there and I'm here and we're doing, we're all dressed up and glamorized it
mm,
or something. So those things can be quite a lot of fun. And again, they mark it as being a bit special, that people are making an effort, that they want to keep in touch, that they're thinking of things, they have to turn up on time, and that old adage that I'm always coming out with, that they have to have a bit of a wash and put some lippy on or have a shave or something, or look at smarten up a bit. That in
mm,
itself can be an important thing to do.
mm, mm. Yeah, it's trouble is, Lucy. It's so hard, though, isn't it? Where especially when you're lonely, and um, I don't know about you, but you know, but some I remember when I was lonely for when my wife died, my first wife died, and the trouble is, I was on my own for quite a while, and it was really, really hard. And one period, it was Christmas time on my own. Now I could have had a choice. I could have gone to my parents, but I didn't really want to. I wanted to stay on my own for Christmas, and
Sometimes you
I
feel too miserable to go, don't you? You're just too miserable. Why? I don't want to take all that misery and dump it on everybody else. I'll stay at home. And that is, that's an early stage of a bit of a depressive state.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
can't be bothered going. They're going to have a nice time without me. I'll stay here and,
yeah,
stay in my PJs all day and eat cold beans out of a tin. That whole thing is very
yeah,
much
yeah.
where we're at sometimes.
But I was lucky because I, I stayed on my own, yes. But then what I did was I went for a walk. I thought, oh, good walk for Christmas Day. It did me fine. Then all of a sudden, someone said to me, "Oh, would you like to come in for dinner?" And it
Mm.
was like a homeless shelter place. And I said, "Well, I'm not homeless." And they said, "Don't worry about it. Come in for dinner."
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and that was it. And it's nice, isn't it, when you kind of like, you feel welcomed, and that it's really
And
nice.
it's being receptive to those things. I mean, I think the thing about getting out the front door like you did, that in itself is an effort. But actually being prepared to do that and go out and then walking along. Now, I think one of the things I talk about with depression is that when we're depressed, our body language is often very, you know, head down, we're not really looking. And one of the things I say to people who are feeling low is lift your head and look up, because once you lift your head and you look up, it stops that navel gazing, that
Yeah, yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah,
grounded negativity thing. And I think once we start being able to look up, we are receptive to other people's gaze, other people's smile, other people's nod, other people's hi mate, how are you? Do you want to come in? And I think that can be a big step in that direction. And I think the thing about, not necessarily about birthdays, but certainly about Christmas, is if people invite you in, neighbors or people who know your situation, and they say, come in for a glass of sherry or come in for a mince pie, or they're not asking you necessarily even for lunch, but come round for half an hour in the afternoon. Sometimes saying yes and getting out can be, a big step in the right direction. Or if people don't do that to you, ask them round to yours. Say, would you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to come in for a cup of tea or whatever it might be, a glass of sherry or something? Ask people round to yours, but make the effort. And even if it's only for 10, 20 minutes, that sometimes can be enough to brighten up the atmosphere and to feel that you've let some fresh air in, you've let people into your heart, into your home. And that can be quite big. And also think about making your home feel welcoming and nice, because that is another thing. If your home starts feeling a little bit more festive, you've got a few coloured balls in a dish and you've put a few cards around the place, you don't have to have a lavish tree, but you're certainly just putting a bit of tinsel around the banister rail or something can be enough to make your place feel good and
Mm.
different and brighter.
Yeah, we got a big tree and a little tree, an object, and then I've got a snowy thing that I bought my wife for Christmas. And it sings, it just sings a song and everything. But that's what we got. But the trouble is, yeah, it just brightened it. I think it brightens your life up a bit. But the trouble is, I want to get to kind of like people who are kind of like really. I don't know. I've got something on my. I'm quite worried about people who's really on their own.
Yeah,
You
on the
know,
birthday, on the
yeah,
birthdays.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
You
well, I
know,
think people are on their own on the birthdays. I think it's planning for it. So it's coming up. You've had them before. They're every year. So planning for it. So I think number one is, as I say, letting people know. Letting people know it's your birthday. If you've got online access, sort of say a couple of days in advance so that people know. Most people are prepared without possibly even thinking about it to send a birthday message. Well, reply to them. If you're on your own, you've got time to say thank you, really appreciate the thought, or that was
mm,
nice of you, or ticket or whatever it might be. So letting people know is a biggie. And I know that this year Royal Mail have hired an extra, I think it's 33,000 staff, because they know this year particularly people are into cards. So they're into birthday cards, they're into greeting cards, they're into sending stuff out to people, because they know that an awful lot of people are on their own, and receiving something through the post that's not a circular or a charity thing or a bill or whatever it might be is a really nice thing to do. So again, that gratitude thing. If you're
mm,
getting cards, if you're getting things through the door, then that again is nice, even if the people you don't see that often. The fact that they've
yeah.
remembered. I mean, my brother typically sends me my birthday card about 2.5 weeks after the event this year. Somebody must have nudged him, because I actually got it about 3 days in advance. But but it's being fine about that. He's got his life, that's okay. You just kind of relax and accept that and think, okay. But being thankful for what you have, being thankful for being blessed, whether it's you've got a job still, you've got a livelihood, you've got your home, as I said already. Maybe bringing in some little touches. So maybe rearranging your furniture a little bit, maybe putting down that rug, maybe having a bit of a clean, so that when you come in on your birthday, the place looks sparklier and brighter.
Mm,
And it feels good, and you've actually cleaned the windows and you're letting some daylight in if it's not sunshiny. So things like that make you feel good, make your home feel good, and make you feel better about being, yeah, I'm on my own, yes, but look what I've got. Look what's surrounding me. Look at the colours. Look at the brightness in my home. Look at how fresh it is.
mm,
And then doing things, planning ways to fill your time properly. So you maybe
mm,
do get up and go for a walk. You maybe do go and window shop. You maybe do go and treat yourself to a coffee, a takeaway coffee in the mall, and find a bench somewhere where you're allowed to sit and people watch for a little while. So
mm,
things that we can do for ourselves, where we take charge, but we fill our time with things that are nice, that are special, that we look at in a positive way, rather than saying, poor me, I'm on my own sat here on this bench. We're saying, you know, I'm in a position where I can go and I can sit here and enjoy this coffee, and it feels good, and it's nice to be able to do those things.
mm, mm. I, it's see the trouble is, so what I find is like, what can I say? We every Christmas, if we got food left over, we give it to like a local church or the homeless and stuff. That's what we do. So we get a little bit of food. If anything's left, we just give it out. But the trouble is, what I find on like on your birthday and things like that, sometimes some people don't like celebrating their birthday, do they? Because they
No,
say because they don't like being getting older, do they? Really?
sure. Well, I tell you something, it's better than the alternative.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So what do you say to those people then? What do you actually say to those people who don't really want to celebrate their birthday?
Say fine. It's okay. I mean, there's no, it's not legislated. You don't have to do it. It's not a government edict. If you choose to just ignore it, then that's okay. And also, don't forget, sometimes we have friends who I know that sometimes most of my friends are partnered. They have kids. I'm single, but sometimes they're not available anyway under normal circumstances on my birthday. So we go out the Wednesday before or the Friday after or whatever it might be, and we do that for all of us, whoever's available, who's available. I'm not
Mm,
available that day, so we negotiate, and that might be the same with family under normal circumstances. Forget corona. So it's sometimes, again, being aware that you're an adult now, and that children are different. Children perhaps want a big fuss being made and want acknowledgement and attention, and that's fine. That's the job description for being a kiddie. But as an adult, if we don't want to celebrate our birthday, then don't. Just get yourself a book and read in a corner and make yourself a mug of hot cocoa or something and enjoy a quiet day. And that's okay. But I think even if you don't enjoy celebrating your birthday, it's nice to mark it as my day so that
mm,
you do have a day where you perhaps don't work, or you have a little bit of some time for yourself where you're doing your own things and you're enjoying doing what you're doing, and having, as I say, time for a game of golf or and you've not told the people that you're playing with it's your birthday, or you're going for a read, or you're going for a coffee, or you buy yourself a bit of lunch out and you have something a bit more special than you normally would. It's nice sometimes to do that because it's good. It's a good way to feed your soul and say, I this is my special day. It doesn't have to be marked with cakes and fire extinguish a number of candles, but it can be a fun day where I enjoy myself and just make a little bit of an extra fuss over myself, and that's okay.
mm. It's good. It's good to kind of like to celebrate and it's good to say, look, let's do something. You know what? What really? Since I've met you, I haven't met you in person, but since I've kind of like talked to you over there, I've been watching your videos. Not
Okay.
the videos. I've been watching your pictures, and every morning now, and this morning I like the church pic you had.
Oh, the picture of the church because they were filming there.
Yeah, which is a
Yeah.
film in there, and
I
and
do
you
I
get
do the same walk every day, just so that people know. I do this walk every morning, and when the sun was up, it was at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and because it's
yeah,
darker these days, it's foggy this morning. It's more likely to be 7ish, perhaps even 7:30. And today, so it's a hashtag daily walk, and I put it on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow me by all means. But today they were filming at a church hall near an actual church near where I live.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I should have explained it. And I always follow you now, and you just get out there because you enjoy. Even though that you're on your own, you really enjoy life, don't you?
Some mornings, I mean, this morning when I looked out my window, it's very, very foggy. And I think I put 2, 3 days ago, one of the reasons, and it's the first time I've ever mentioned it at all on social media, because I don't tend to put negative stuff about myself. But about 3 or 4 days ago, I actually put one of the reasons why I get up and go so early is because I know if I hung around for a couple of hours and then looked out the window and saw it was misty or dark, or it looked like it'd been raining, I'd probably think, I can't be bothered.
Mm,
Tomorrow morning I've got a Zoom meeting early on, and if I know I'm going to make the effort to get up and out before it, because if I wait till after, there's a danger that I won't go. So I call that intercepting the negative pulls that might pull you away from doing things you know are
Yeah.
important to do. So I like it when I'm out there, but it's an autopilot thing now that I sort of get up and have a bit of a wash and brush my teeth and you know out I
Mm.
go because I know if I hung around and thought about it or check the weather and put my finger out and all the rest of it, I might think, oh, I'll go tomorrow, I'll leave it today. And I
Yeah.
think since the beginning of lockdown, I've missed 2 days. One
Mm.
was because it was absolutely chucking it down and I didn't have any boots. And the other one was because I'd had Zoom meetings all morning and every other day. It's about motivation. And I think it's about having a routine that you kind of allowed to drive you a little bit where you get up and you
Mm.
automatic for some people it's having your work clothes ready so
Yeah.
that you get up in the morning and you have a wash and then they're there and you put them on and you don't have to think about it too much.
Mm.
It's easing yourself into your day and I think that can be a really useful thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Because plus, when you go out for a walk in the morning or whether it is in the evening or something, it's fresh air. It's getting out. It's making you feel much better, isn't it? Really.
And I think I tend to go similar time every day, so now I've met people that I see most days or quite often, frequent enough to nod and say hi. And I know their names now and I know a little bit about their backstory. And, we're not having hugs and things, but we're certainly chatting a little bit about not seeing you for a day or two. How are you? And I was going to message you and say, we sometimes share things on social media or whatever. And we kind of become friends in with a small f, not proper friends, but friendly enough
All
to
right.
enjoy that interaction. And I think I'm quite busy with clients, but certainly not having much social up to now
Mm.
for a while. It's nice to have those easier interactions where you say hi, how are you? How's your dog? Let me stroke your dog and all that kind of thing, which are quite special to do.
You never know. You might meet your future husband one
You
day
never
walking
know.
along there.
You never know.
You never know.
There's not a job vacancy really, but that's okay.
Sorry, I had to get that one. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so if someone is kind of like what we're talking about birthday, so sorry, I'm getting my tongue tied now. If someone's having a birthday tomorrow or today or whatever, what advice will you give them?
I think if you're wanting a little bit of a fuss made of it, then seize the bull by the horns a little bit and ask around and say, does anybody fancy a catch up on Zoom? Anybody fancy, a bake off or a record thing or a disco or whatever online? Maybe meet an odd friend in town for a coffee if you're allowed to. I think everywhere's either tier 2 or 3, so you can do that. Meet for a coffee one on one somewhere outside. Um, and just be. And if somebody says, "Do you want to come round?" or whatever, if you're allowed to do that, then do that. Or meet outside. So be receptive, be available. If you are absolutely on your own, then plan. As I said already, plan. Find your favorite book. Find some foods that you like. Stock up on that. Maybe get yourself a small bottle of champagne or something if you can afford it. But whatever it might be, it's about I know how I want my birthday to be, so I'm going to
Mm,
take charge of that. So, as I
mm,
say, it is making your home comfortable. It is perhaps putting out the coloured throws, the scented candles that you perhaps don't normally light. It is about doing things that make your home, your life, your environment feel a little bit more festive, a little bit more birthday-fied.
mm. Thank you very much. Once again, we come to the end.
My
It goes,
pleasure.
it goes so quick, doesn't it?
I know. Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? It goes really quick, really quick. Thank you very much for that. That's
And I think if anybody's got a topic that they'd like for us to talk about particularly, they can always message you, can't they, Steve? If
yeah,
somebody's
yeah,
got a
yeah.
particular question or a topic or something that they feel, one that we've not covered yet is sleep, and a lot of people have sleep issues. So if you've got anything you want us to talk about or share or discuss, put it in the chat to Steve, and we will be more than happy to talk about it, won't
I
we?
don't, yeah, I think we should cover that next week. Actually, sleep.
What sleep? Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But Susan, thank you very much again,
My
as
pleasure.
always.
My
If you
pleasure.
stay there, then I'll just give you a chat, have a chat for a sec. Okay, guys, thank you very much. This is my last one tonight. We did three today, so I'm feeling a bit tired and I want to watch a bit of telly. Um, don't forget, tomorrow we've got four shows tomorrow, four shows. And also on Saturday, this Saturday coming, we've got the quiz. So please contact me if you want to take part in the quiz. And, it's all a bit of fun. It's about general knowledge this week. I think it's, yeah, general knowledge this week. And you just get a pen and some Christmas goodies if you win. So anyway, I'll speak to you later on. Bye bye.